Hello, 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 my friends. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be streaming. The tavern doors are open, so come on in, have a seat, have some to relax. Overall, fantastic days. We are back once again with some more Fabula Ultima. Today's session taking place as another side story, this time looking into the background and past of one Lhusu Lightheart, our beloved Dark Knight and frontline damage dealer. So, I'm going to see what today's story has in store and have some fun. Make sure you have yourself a nice hearty mug of meat and a nice comfortable seat. Without further ado, my name's Hippie, I'm your host, and welcome to the bridge. Ooh, what's up, little ladies and gentlefolk? We are back once again, kicking ass, taking names, touching butts, being badasses, and having an overall wonderful, fantastic, amazing time. And so we're gonna be doing some background for Lhusu having a cool little adventure, delving into their past and seeing what they were like at a time before the present adventures of the Empyrean Heart. So we're going to say hello to Argo, the player for Lhusu, and go ahead and get started here. Let's rock and roll. Hello, 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 my friend. Welcome in.
Good, sir.
Hope you're having a fantastic day so far.
Absolutely cannot complain.
Wonderful. Well, today's going to be a bit different from the normal episodes of Fabula Ultima. Today we're going through the second side story we've done so far. This one focusing on your character Lhusu Lightheart. Um, Going through and experiencing events of your past and um seeing where you came from.
hmm
Um this episode is entirely focused on you. Anyone else that shows up is just kind of around to hang out. This isn't guaranteed to be a 3-hour session. Just because it's appropriate to end early, I will make it the appropriate end because, well, we shouldn't force things.
Right, sounds good.
This will most likely not be the only session of background that we do for your character. This is just the kind of establishing opening arc. There will be a multitude of narrative choices that you'll probably end up making that will help shape the world that your character has lived through up to the times of current events, and such, or hopefully give you some ideas of goals afterwards. On top of that, there is a chance that things in the past change or add to your current character in the present. So, maybe you have a special thing that you've had in the past, and well, you just happen to have it in the present because you should have it.
Good old time shenanigans. Okay, okay.
Time, yeah. But yeah, this is entirely made for you to develop your character how you want and to tell their story. There's not going to be too many consequences in terms of I'm not going to be having you roll too many dice. Most of this is going to be a narrative and just simply how you respond to the situations and the world around you. Um, I might have combat in the future, but we'll see. This is going to play out similar to have you ever played or seen Darkest Dungeon 2?
I've seen gameplay. I've never actually played it though.
Okay, so Darkest Dungeon 2 has these like kind of past sequences for each character, play out in these like kind of
Mm,
little episodics as you learn those characters and get their background, and it's
right.
simply just an event. Um,
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't get into too much combat because I don't necessarily want to, because most of my character now is focused on the Dark Knight aspect, and I
mhm.
didn't want that to be a part of the combat during this segment. So I'm glad we
Yeah,
don't necessarily have to focus on combat.
yeah. This isn't focused on tower. If there is combat, it'll almost guaranteed just be narrative stuff, describing what you do in the situation instead of rolling dice and working on your stats for the situation.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and gonna go have you introduce yourself. Argo, who are you? Who you're playing, and what do you do?
Hello, everybody. I am Argo. I am playing Lhusu Lightheart. At this current moment, I am a young, aspiring sword master, looking to prove himself in the eyes of his father.
All right. We open the scene. Lhusu, it's present day. You find yourself in a meadow. It is a calming, relaxing day. The members of Imperial Heart, um, you've been in this party for a while now, and their quirks and nuances have grown on you in time. You watch as Proxia, Ashling, and Lord Borrington rise, yawn, do their morning greetings, and then wander off into the woods. They mention something about going on a hunt. It's rare that you get the chance to relax on your own, to take a breath, to take a break. And so, this opportunity to close your eyes, lay back, and relax doesn't miss you. As you do so, you rest. Your mind wanders. As you close your eyes, you blink. When they open, you stand in a grandiose hall. Its ceilings raising meters and meters above your head, made even larger by your much smaller stature. Here stands Lhusu Lightheart, a 13, 14-year-old acolyte of the blade. Next to you, a man you recognize, though younger than your most recent memories, his once mostly grayed hair now speckled with peppers of black, well kept and maintained. He's in a dress uniform today, similar to yours, but his colors are darker, lined with silvers and purples of the Cavaltas royal regime. The outfit you wear is a small combination of light plate mails, mainly designed as a fashion statement over actual armor, adorned with bright white colors of the acolytes, and also bordered with the purple regalia of Cavaltas regime. Beside you stands a series of other folk. You recognize them. Their presence is one you've grown used to in the last year or two that you've been studying under one Sil. Oh God, when did it? Sil Prideblade. Um, the days have been interesting along these companions. The first of them, young man, still your elder, but young in the eyes of adults and others. He's probably 17, 18. Sigurd, the dancer. Well established blade dancer among the ranks of the knights and nobility. Another one of Syl Priorhart's astounding students and a rising hero to be. His blade work is that of beauty and magical uh, aptitude. Beside him stands a young for their species, uh, elven woman. She wields a bow, elegant and well strung. Zephyr, the velvet bow. Another of Syl's um, trainees to be, well, heroes to be, trainee currently. Um, the beauty that she makes with each loosed arrow is like a harp played from an orchestra. There is even rumors that she might be the next chosen of the twin gods, wielder of the bow, and Adoris's next champion. Beside her, in a much different or opposite from beauty, Drogar Trollfist, the Barrage. Another strange feature among the group. Short, stout, old. A Casimirian from the north. And the Barrage is not simply a nickname, but a description. The man is known for his furious fists that shatter stone and rock and wall and tear down anything that gets in his way. In his age, he's become a secondary mentor to the other heroes of Kavaltaz and trainees under Syl Prideblade. He is an interesting one, always kind, but yet so willing to act in violence quicker than anyone else. Lastly, where there is fist, there is a wall. Alistair the Bulwark, another young man closer to your age, but no less a rising star and an upcoming hero. Another noble by birth. Uh, Son to uh, Hylia, master of the wall outside of the city of Gazal to the northwest. Alistair the Bulwark is a shield matched by the two slabs of metal he wields in each hand, a guardian true to nature and definition. Though you've learned more than once not to uh, consider him less than the more aggressive members of the trainees. He is more than capable of using those shields to bash a head or two, and he's just as likely to use them in offense as he is to throw his body in the way of his friends to defend them. Lastly, your master, Syl Prideblade, stands at the ready, his swords at his hips, his posture straight, his pride gleaming across his face as he looks down at his students, each one a glorious light of the future of the land of Jord Urda and the realms around. Heroes to be, heroes that have come. Syl Prideblade is a master of martial arts. The blade, the bow, fist. Uh, you put a physical weapon in Syl's hand, and he will teach you new ways to wield it and old ways to defeat it. He looks at you, a bright smile across his face, his youngest and potentially brightest student, almost literally. The Lightheart's family aptitude for holy magic has been well known through the land. The Viscount of the Lightheart family is well known for his beaming personality. He is not a warrior, but he is adept in such manners of magic and charismatic combat, if nothing else. His wife, uh, Liana Lighthouse, um, a elven woman from lands far away, uh, commonly rumored to have been tricked into marriage to a human man, though you know far beyond that. She is truly in love with your father. Gillian is a charming, handsome man, and even without his fame and fortune, would probably easily have found many a willing partner in life. Where Liliana, her beauty and elegance comes from the natural elements of elven magic and history of, well, being an elf. Her natural magical aptitude is not forgotten alongside the family line, where most of the Lighthouse family has been common mages and warriors or people of notable societal gain. You, Lhusu, and your younger brother, Cain Lightheart, are both been paid attention to a bit more, as the magical aptitude within your bodies is far greater than any other members of the family before. And it is due to that very aptitude and your uh, natural talent with Blade that Viscount Gillian Lightheart reached out to his friend, to Sil Prideblade, in hopes that he would teach and show you the ways to master your abilities, your powers, so you may one day put use to them. And that is where you've been the last 2 or so years, training under your master, Sil Prideblade, the man who has come like a second father to you. You hear the blaring of a trumpet horn, and you are snapped back to the world around you. The room is full of interesting people, nobles, assistants, people from all around the world of high stature and royal gain and interest. In front of you, you stare at two golden bronze thrones. They are lined with a velvety satin seating, engraved with gorgeous, beautiful metallic designs. The larger one on the left hand side is backed with the hilt of a blade that rests above its head, beautifully carved. The hand of Zahn, the blade master of the twin gods, giving it a look of a at rest position, similar to how you have your own blade resting in front of you. The seat to the right, you can see a the elegant form of a bow that makes up the overhead archway that goes up and over the chair. Um, Within the armrests of the throne, you can see the hands of geez, Idris uh, gripping bowstrings, pulling them back and stretching them down low over the throne. The seats of the king and queen of Jordan, of Cavaltaz. The horns that blare announce the arrival of the Everstar family. First coming in, finding her seat, Queen Everstar, beautiful, just, kind. Her softness, similar to that of your own mother. He smiles and waves to the crowd that has gathered. In her arms, held aloft, a young boy, blonde hair, lightly draped over his head. He's baby 3 years old, no younger, no older. Still looks down to you. Tell me, Lhusu, do you know the name of this boy? The role that he might play in the world to come?
Yes, Master. He is Cyrus. Uh, Cyrus Everstar.
You're
He
correct.
is to be the prince. Or, well, is the prince. Sorry, Master.
You are correct. Prince Cyrus Everstar, heir to the throne. And if your training goes well and you passed your trials, he is to be your charge in the future. Guard to a king is no light task, but it is one that I think someday you will grow into. It will be years before this happens. And he has a long way before he takes the throne. But in that time, you will master the blade and the arts that you've been given so graciously at birth. And you will not do this alone. Your companions, depending on how they go, the other students, outside of potential Stilgar, who I assume will go far north once he's done, you will have many friends, companions. Even the prince someday might look to you with smiles and praise, though always know your place amongst him.
Of course, Master. I would never presume to be an equal.
From the right hand side of the stage walks out a young man, neat brown hair over his head pulled back tight in a tight small ponytail. He has an air of haughtiness to him, his knightly attire adorned with silvers and lined with golds, overlapping the what should be the purple regalia of Cavaltas and the Everstar family line. You've heard rumors of this man, a rising star, a master of the martial arts, an old student of Sil Prideblade. He is known as Mirai, War Master. He has no magical aptitude. He came from near nothing. But his rise in power has been swift, noticeable, and loud. Rumored to be the next upcoming hero, the Hand of Azan and his chosen champion, his master of blades, match even that of your master. Though his haughty arrogance has given him a reputation. Poor and sour is his mood often, as he is compared to the other heroes and people around him, as the whispers of his inability to use magic have given him a ego and a constant need to prove himself, to show his worth, to enhance himself through magical means. And even as he walks on into the throne room, you can already see the multitude of magical artifacts he adorns his body to make up for his ineptitude in the actual magical arts. His armor protective beyond measures, with multiple layers of wards and runes that would keep him alive in even the most dangerous of blows. The blades on his hips, the sheaths themselves magically enhanced, capable of fighting on their own if need be, but also returning to his hand at a moment's notice. The axe upon his back, known for splitting mountains in a single stroke. All of these enhanced by his natural ability to wield each and every one of them without their magical enhancements. He walks in, standing next to the throne with the sword embedded in its back, and with a low bow. He announces, "Stand ready to receive your king, Lord Everstar of Kavaltas, champion of Azan." With that, walking out from a room in the back, a man of stature that you could only hope to achieve someday, of glory and aptitude, honor and beauty. He looks tired in these days. Lord Everstar, hero to the people, has found a little rest in common with others these recent days of the rising turmoil to the north. Radagast Everstar has been busy, but he presents himself on this day to honor those who have shown growth and hold the future of Kavaltaz and Jord Erda as a whole in their hands. He walks in, and wow, for a moment the look of tired exhaustion crosses his face. Almost immediately it snaps away. A smile broadens across his face as the people in the throne room cheer and clap with controlled excitement. He waves and smiles to those. He looks around, waving to the elven delegation that has arrived, looking over to the Casmelian dwarves who found their way here in this time, finally to you and the other acolytes. He smiles. "Welcome, guests, honored ones, those who have traveled from faraway lands, from realms beyond our imagination and depths that touch even the deepest of our lands. Thank you for joining me, for joining us on this day of celebration, as we honor those who come next. Honor those who will rise in the place of us elders to take our seats, our crowns, to bring new glories to our stories. To the acolytes of one Master Prideblade." He nods towards you and the other acolytes. He nods towards Syl Prideblade before he takes a seat at his throne. Mrai, steps forward. We will now begin the coronation ceremony for heroes to be. Master Prideblade, step forward with your acolytes. Present them one at a time. Their honors, their glories, and their tasks to be. Still steps forward, announcing each of you one at a time, calling them forward. First, Sigurd the dancer, with a flurry of magical blades and spell sword aptitude, show of beauty and swiftness, deft hand. He finishes and bows. Syl dismisses him. Next, Alistar steps forward, shields in hand. He is presented with a series of royal guard, capable of their own, each one, though not status of heroes. They are royal guard for a reason as they assail Alistair. His shields never falter. He never loses a step, instead stepping forward at each blow, pushing back 4 grown men, fully capable of bringing down beasts and monsters twice the size of Alistair alone. And with a final roar and a slam of his shields, the large golden magical walls that are his magic rise, filling the room with a light, bringing a cheering glee to those around. You can see the boy, Cyrus, with light in his eyes, looking at the 2 would-be heroes with hopes and dreams. Next, Sophia steps forward with silent steps and a bow drawn. She fires an arrow up into the sky and it disappears, only to reappear again and again and again in a dance so beautiful and elegant that it is hard to even wonder how such magics could exist. In the end, a series of 10 arrows burst in a colorful ray that sprinkled down over her and even a little bit over the prince as he reaches out and grasps at the magical dust. It fades in his hand, but it leaves a lasting memory. Next, Strogar, Trollfist. Again, his name, the barrage, is that of title and deed, as a stone slab is laid out in front of him, large, maybe 10, 12 feet tall. But in moments, he has smashed his hand into it over and over and over, carving away chunks, blasting apart bits, and what is seen as brutish hand-to-hand combat ends in beauty and elegance that are far beyond what should be dealt by such heavy blows of Kazmirian fists. Standing in the middle of the room, instead of a stone slab, is a carved statue of King Everstar himself. It is cruder in nature than that of a professional artisan, but it is without the mistake the king, his glory, his blade held high, his flowing cape, the beard across his face, the look of glory, and the twinkle of the Everstar light in his eyes. Durgar huffs and flexes, cheering in the back. You can hear the Kazmirian delegates and travelers excitedly clapping. They make little vocal noise, but each thunderous clap is like a mining pick against stone. Lastly, still Prideblade looks to you, Lhusu. The last of my acolytes, Lhusu Lightheart. Holy Blade of Kavaltos. Step forward, child. Present yourself and your arms.
Lhusu will step forward, his blade um, inside of his hands as he walks forward towards Syl, stopping just in front. Um, as he stops, uh, holy energy will begin to fill the blade until the light becomes almost too much to bear, and then bursts, not with any violence, but uh, elegance, um, dazzles of light will fill the room, sparkling across the entire throne room.
With a bright, holy display of light, you fill the throne room with a glow that brings hope to even the most despaired hearts. You can see even Radagast Everstar. For a moment, the tiredness truly leaves his face. The dark bags under his eyes fade away. The hope of a future where monsters don't roam the lands, where the fear of demons don't haunt the north, where peace truly lays in the hands of mortals. He sees it for but a moment. The light fades away. You see his face comes to a rest once again. He claps. Truly, oh, truly a light amongst the youths. To think the youngest trainee of Master Prideblade in all generations would be so adept in magic, so gifted by our gods. I only pray that with your capabilities and aptitudes, Azan may look upon you and smile, young boy. Not only for your skill with the blade, or your natural magic capabilities, but also for your kindness, for your I do not wish to give too much praise, young man, but I know your path already. I look forward to seeing you stand in my throne room.
Of course, my king. Uh, I look forward to it as well.
You can see out of the corner of your eye, Mirai. He is irate at the mention that someone else might receive the blessing of Azan when he has strived so hard, so much more than anyone else. He steps forward, King with a look of disdain glances to him. It passes in a moment. My lord, truly this young man is adept in the blade and magical capabilities. Another champion of Azan in the making, truly. King Everstar looks at him. Yes, young Mirai. Why do you step forward, my chosen knight? Well, my lord, I only feel it would be appropriate and potentially inspiring for our delegates and those who've traveled so far to witness the glory of Azan's future champions, and to maybe settle any debates of who might be next. Mirai looks at you, disdain and hate in his eyes. You can see the whites of his knuckles wrapped around one of his blades. king sighs, and you can already hear the whispers of the interest of those around you, nobles with pull, nobles with desires, wants, glory seekers. Yes. It seems you might be just right, Mirai. Maybe a small combat expedition could be done in the halls of the king. You can see Mirai is uh, verbally stabbed by these words, as he has definitely overstepped his bounds, though he's played a room that does have interest in the future of these lands, and the future of those who are to be welcomed as heroes in your future. From the background, a voice you know far too well. Yeah! Let Lhusu kick his ass! You hear a shush and a couple of chuckles from the delegates. Even the stony faces of the Casmirians break into a wide grin as your brother Cain Lightheart yells for your glorious victory.
Lucy's eyes will immediately dart to him, shooting him a glare.
He smiles, and he knows he spoke out of turn, especially in front of the king, though his status as son of the Viscount Lightheart does give him some leeway. He is a known troublemaker and has more than once spoken out in front of the king and people he should not have. You see your father lean down and berate your brother once again. Your mother looks to him and turns to you with a smile and a nod, places her hand on Cain's head and ruffles his dirty blonde brown hair. She smiles, and in the back of your head you can hear her voice. He's crude, but your brother is right. A show of your strength might do well not only for the crowd around, but for yourself.
Am I able to respond back mentally, or is this only a one-way thing for her?
Your mother's ability with magical telepathy has been uh something that you haven't quite grown into yet. In time, maybe it might be something she can teach you, but the connection to your magical ancestry is not quite that strong. Beside her, you see a older, elderly elf, his face furrowed and grumpy. You would know him as your grandfather, your mother's father, taken time to be away from the lands of the elves from his delegation in the council. He looks at Cain with disapproval. He's verbally expressed his dislike for your brother's uh, rowdiness and how your parents have kind of let him grow into it. He also disapproves of your father, but there is nothing he can do, since your mother's love will not be so easily squelched by simply family squabbles. He has always been one to uh, push your more magical aptitudes, um, vying for you to leave the blade behind and adapt the elven schools of magic over mortal martial arts. Um, but his ways are old, and he is simply a grumpy old man at this point. Lord Everstar rubs his forehead for a moment before he stands up. If the delegates from uh, the lands of Cosmere and our elven allies, as well as those from Gazal and the priests of Dawama, would be so willing to allow a show of martial aptitude and growth, as well as a small combat expedition between uh, the future of our people. Raise your hands. It is near unanimous people's interest in the coming warriors of the future. The few to not raise their hand, one being your mother. She wishes not to see you fight in war or pretend. Another is still Brightblade. You can hear the whispers of those around, concerned that Brightblade did not raise his hand to show approval of the match. He looks to you. You can see a small glint of concern in his eyes.
Am I close enough to speak to him, or is it am I far enough away that I can't speak to him right now?
You're close enough to speak if needed.
Okay. Lhusu will look at his master in concern and, uh, do you not b- believe in me?
He kneels down next to you, getting in close. No, Lhusu, I believe in you more than any of my students I've ever had before. I simply worry. That man is prideful beyond measure. The fact he has the gall to speak out in front of the king, in front of royal delegates from lands beyond our own, means that the air in his head has gotten hotter. I do not doubt your abilities, but I also do not doubt his. There will be combat. The king cannot refuse, not with the delegates so intrigued by the motion. Defend yourself, Lhusu. You are my pride and joy. But Mirai was a whole another beast in training. He will try to hurt you.
I I understand, Master. I will do my best to defend myself.
Good. He stands up and with a smile, he steps forward into the center of the room, which is now being cleared out by royal guards who make a way for a small circular arena. Ladies and gentlemen, delegates from across lands far, I am Sil Prideblade, master of martial arts and trainer of heroes. As the teacher for both of these young men, I will delegate this combat expedition. Mirai, Blade of the Frontier, War Master, step forth, present your blades. Mirai steps forward with pride from the king's side, marching with arrogance and glory. He steps forward and presents his blades to Syl. with a small chant. The sheaths are sealed over them. This is a combat expedition. No real blades will be used, and no harm shall come to these students, these futures of our people, these champions of Azan. Marai, with a wicked grin, smiles. Of course, my old master. I would not I would not dream to harm the young Lightheart boy. He looks at you, daggers in his eyes, poison in his voice, lies. So Bridebait looks to you. Lhusu Lightheart. Hope of tomorrow. Guiding light of our future. Step forward, holy knight. Present your blade.
Lhusu will do the same and present his blade to Syl.
Syl kneels down, grabs a blade, and also enchants it. The sheath, you see magical threads tie it to the hilt of the blade. Even if you tried as hard as you could, for as long as you live, you would never draw this blade again. Now, future champions of our people, to your corners. He steps back into the middle of the small ring that's been uh, um, made in the middle of the throne room. A series of guards lay around the edge. Behind them, two mages chant small protective wards that keep the crowd safe of any accidental overture of power. Marai stands on one end of the field, his twin blades, sheathed as they are, in hand. He stares at you, lethality in his eyes, hatred that you don't quite understand. So, once again, this is an expeditionary combat. It will be a fair, honorable duel between Lhusu Lightheart and Marai, Blade of the King. I expect honor among you two. No foul play shall be had. When I strike my sword to the ground, you may begin. With that, he draws his sword, presents it in an honorable bow to the king, turns to the two of you. With a quick tap, it echoes and rings throughout the chamber, and the response is instant. Marai leaps from his side of the arena in a flash of fury and light. His blades are already upon you. You are forced into defensive stance quickly. You can hear the sneer in Marai's face, the hatred in his voice. What's wrong, little Lightheart? Afraid to swing your blade?
As Lhusu is defending himself, he's looking for an opening, any sort of potential to round out the odds here. Uh, he allowed to use his holy magic during this, or is it strictly martial arts?
Um, that is for you to decide. That is a part of your arsenal of equipment that you can use.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, so Lusu is going to uh, keep on the defensive until he feels that Mirai is being too aggressive, and then will quickly let out a bright flash of light, just barely enough to blind Mirai, and slip into his blind zone to make a strike.
and so you do with Marai's aggressiveness, his eyes glaring at yours. You find the opportunity to, with a well of quick light building from your body, blazing from your sword, Marai, for but a moment, is forced to close his eyes. His swing goes wide. He oversteps his stance, and you find the opportunity to collide your blade into his chest. And you do. He is sent sprawling across the ground, sliding several feet away with a huff. A small cheer comes from the crowd as Kane yells out something about beating his ass again. You can see Syl Pride Blade. Uh, there's no change in his facial expression, but he looks at you, approval in his eyes. Marai stands up. You filthy child. You think some silly magic tricks will give you an upper hand in a battlefield? He lunges forward once again. You can see the sheath of the blade on his right hand glow. You are not the only one with tricks up their sleeve, boy. And as the blade comes streaking down, it erupts into fire as the sheath itself becomes a magical blade that strikes down at you. The heat is far too real. It burns hot like the sun. It hasn't even touched your skin, but you can feel it begin to burn just so slightly. His other blade erupts, the sheath turning to pure lightning as he raises it over his head. Before he can bring it streaking down upon you, a slam from the throne. That is enough. Radagast Everstar stands. The crowd is quiet once again. Whispers of power and the future can be heard. Even more so can be heard the sigh of a worried mother. You can see that without much thought, your mother had stepped forward and Lillian just slightly in worry. You can feel the small grasp of magic of her hand reaching to protect you. You fear what would have happened if Marai's blade had actually swung true, if it had struck you, not only for your physical form, but your mother's fury. The crowd goes quiet, and the room is returned to its natural order. Marai is called back to the king's side. Syl walks over to you and kneels. Are you okay?
Yes, master. The flames, they were hot, but no, no harm was done to me.
Good. And do not worry. You showed great aptitude. Your defense was immaculate.
Did I? Oh, sorry, your mic cut out.
Uh,
I was gonna say, or Lucy was gonna say, did I do good, master?
yes, you did well. You showed great defensive aptitude. and your understanding of the situation when Mirai pushed too hard, making an opening for yourself to strike, is masterful and tactful. You've learned well in your few years here. I'm sure Strogar would be most proud of you, knowing that you've held your own against a man of such stature. Strogar, who stands behind you, is beaming with pride. He has been almost a secondary mentor to all of the acolytes of Sil Prideblade, uh, helping each of you understand your weaknesses and grow sturdy in your stances.
Lucy's eyes will look over to Strogar and see if he's pleased with his performance.
Strogar gives a very hearty chuckle and a thumbs up. His hands are, uh, well, the gauntlets that lie over his hands are elegant in design, but also crude as they need to be heavy and, well, they are crafted by dwarves, not elves. They are like bricks, each finger enchanted hammer individually. He smiles and with a thumbs up he nods. Each of the acolytes give their nod of approval and excitement for your small expeditionary match. As you rejoin the ranks, Alistair shimmies over to you. Again, being the only one technically near your age, he smiles, looking down at you. You really showed that man his place, didn't you? Don't worry, if he had tried to strike you, I would have been there in a moment's notice. Blade would have never reached you.
I I believe you, Alistair. Thank you.
You did good. Sophia says nothing, but reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder. You can feel the gentleness and acceptance of her nature. Sigurd.
Sigurd nods towards her.
Sigurd looks to you and nods, though he stays in a presented uh, stature. The only notice of any worry or um, concern that you can see is three of the blades that lie on his back are ever so slightly unsheathed. They go back to their rested position, and he returns his gaze back to the king. The rest of the ceremony is menial at best. You are forced to stand for another 2 hours listening to delegates talk about the glories of being allies with Jord Urda, with the principality, well, not the principality, but the kingdom of Jord Urda, with the King Everstar and the seats of Kavoltas, their interest in working with the other cities and the leaders of those realms as well. Uh, After those hours pass, the coronation and ceremony ends with King Radagast Everstar stepping forward to each of you acolytes. His blade, the Whisper Song, an aspect of the god Azan himself. He is drawn, and in turn, each of you are knelt, and he knights each of you as heroes of the realm to be guardians and protectors. The chosen future of the kingdom of Jord Urda, and in times of need, their heroes. Some time passes, and you find yourself outside amongst the crowds as they wander away. Uh, your father and mother are unfortunately uh, caught up in royal matters. There's a ball to be had and a gala to be observed, and unfortunately, it is the Viscount's duty in his noble seat to present a multitude of works and designs to come in Kavaltaz and the other cities of Jordan. So, you're left alone. Well, not quite, as from running up the cobblestones, it is unmistakably your brother. Cain Lightheart leaps onto your back. Well, thank God we're free. That was so boring. Lhusu, I don't get how you can stand being amongst these prittlers and prattlers. I'm gonna go throw rocks at old man Stout's windows again.
Hey, how I deal with these people is my own issue. You should not be talking the way you do during these meetings.
Oh, brother, please. What are they going to do? Take my inheritance away? I'd be surprised if father left me a dime with how glorious you are, brother. No, I am not concerned.
Still, brother, I care for you. I don't want to see you hauled off by guards.
Perfect. If you care for me, then fight the guards. What are they going to do? Stop you?
What am I going to do with you, brother?
Mm. Ooh. I know father gave you an allowance tonight, and they're busy. You could buy me a cake.
What kind of cake?
Ooh, I do love those sweet tarts. From the bakery, down the street from, he describes a beautiful bakery. The woman there has always been soft on you boys, especially ever since Cain was caught stealing. Uh, she's always given you a little bit extra as a small treat. Knowing that you are the Viscount's children might have something to do with it, but she does seem to enjoy the company of two young boys. Her husband had passed, and she has no children of her own. So she bakes and bakes. Um, Not just normal breads and baked goods, but also enchanted foods. Uh, where most bakeries would give you a gingerbread man, she would bake you a small village capable of moving on its own, baking on its own.
At the mention, Lucy will chuckle and say, I guess we do owe. I guess we do owe her some money for all the cake we've taken, huh? Well, let's go then.
With a cheer and a whoop, Kane is excited and almost runs straight into some passerbyers before um, apologizing and skipping off ahead of you towards the bakery. Your night is peaceful and exciting. You blink and time passes. You have come to age as a man. Uh, you've freshly hit the age of 18. Today is the day you receive your master's parting gift. You have completed training under Syl Prideblade. You will no longer be his acolyte. though he has mentioned bringing you on as his guardian until the prince comes of age where he will need you at his side. The excitement that boils inside you, undescribable. You find yourself standing in an empty hallway waiting for your name to be called. All the others have been presented forward, each of them receiving their gift from your master. What do you do?
Um, just so that way I'm aware, because you were cutting out pretty
Mm,
bad. We are receiving gifts from Syl, because we are of age,
yes,
correct?
you
Okay.
are finishing your training and becoming no longer a student, but an associate alongside So Prideblade. Um, and he has specifically offered to take you on as his guardian until the prince comes of age where he requires his own.
Right. Okay. Um, Lhusu is going to be uh pretty giddy. He has been waiting for this for a long time. Um, he is going to be uh, chatting with Alistar under hushed breath, so that way he doesn't interrupt any uh, proceedings or anything like that.
Okay. Alistar, who was the first to receive his gifts from your master, uh, two gleaming enchanted shields, bastions beyond even the greatest walls in the kingdom, each individually held in his hand, embroidered by gold. Um, the hardy fist defending hand of Dawama embroidered in the center of each shield. That fist will be a light and a beacon of hope in coming times. Protector through and through, Alistar has grown into a man. His growth spurt was quick. He now stands a good foot taller than you. His stubbly beard has grown quite angular on his face. He smiles and to think we're finally done with our training. To think you'd be alongside me in all this time. I've been here for 8, almost 9 years. You've you've mastered your blade in 4.
Lucy will jab back at him. Where else would I be, Alistar? It's not like I have years to spare like you, right?
uh, I only hope that we all do. Aren't you an half elf? You should live many more years than I will, that's for sure.
With my line of work, nah, who knows really?
What? As the guard to the royal advisor, and soon the prince himself. Truly a most dangerous job. Hmm. The war to the north has been getting worse. I haven't seen the king in the castles or the lands recently. He's been away much more often. I hope that the Casmirians can hold their ground. I hear that the fighting against the beasts up there has grown problematic. Uh, I've also heard. Have you seen those new golems roaming the streets? They call it Magitech. I think such things could exist. I fear they might replace us warriors on the front line. Then what am I to do? Grow old? Fish? Can you imagine me fishing?
Ah, yes. One can almost imagine it. Alistar, the master fisher.
Oh,
Ah,
oh. I'll die of boredom hearing the name. Please. Ah, well, I don't want to distract you from your coming celebrations. I'm going to move on to the restroom. Uh, good luck, and don't do anything embarrassing.
I'll try not to, Alistar. Thank you.
He stands up and walks down the hallway towards the. I really said restroom. I don't mean the bathroom. I mean a room of rest.
Of course.
He walks off to relax and rest with the others who've already received their gifts. You now stand alone in a hallway. You can hear the announcements of Glory's feats and things. The past 2 years, you have had a multitude of tasks and quests to complete to prove yourself as a acolyte of Syl Prideblade. What are some feats you have achieved, whether academically or martial?
We'll say Lhusu has uh, progressed the kingdom's knowledge of holy magic uh, to glean more of a knowledge on where such magic stems from and its capabilities. On the martial side, um, he I don't want to say he has surpassed Syl, but surpassed Syl at what his age would have been. Still at 18, I mean.
Yeah. As you hear Syl announcing the glories of the tasks you've achieved, your each individual accolade that you have gained, in the far corner of the door in the front of the hallway, shadows grow ever so slightly. From within them, you hear a small voice. Ah, my child, you wait so eagerly for your future. Come, let me read you your fortune, child.
Who goes there?
Oh, fret not. You blink and no shadow rests, just a wiry old woman. Her clothing drape over her. You can tell she is some sort of future seer, some sort of old hag at best. And she smiles, a look of kindness across her face. She reaches out with a hand. Come, let me see what your future holds for you, child.
So his curiosity getting the better of him will uh, slowly walk towards her and reach out his hand.
She takes it, her skin old, feel of tight leather as she grips your hand. Ah, Lhusu Lightheart, the future of the land of Jord Urda is in your hand. Your light shines so bright in such dark times they do. And yet, your light, young boy, will fade. You have many trials ahead of you. Dark days for the child known as Lightheart. Cruelties, pain, suffering. The end of an era. It will be your fault. She smiles, her grin wider than humanly possible. The form of her body is wrapped in shadow. Your future is grim, young child. Darkness will consume your light, your world. The end of this kingdom is nigh, and you will do nothing to stop it.
You're lying.
I speak no lies, only truths and riddles, only futures to come. The ever star flickers and fades. Its time ends today.
I'll never let that happen.
The choice is not yours to make. With a flash, the world around you fades. Darkness consumes. You feel dizzy. You can hear in the background the speech of Phil Prideblade. Then you fall backwards. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Rumble is heard. You feel it. Suddenly, you're shaken awake. There is smoke in the air. The light of fires blaze around you. Standing over your body, an image you never thought you would ever see. You don't know how. You don't know when. Your blade is drawn. The room is ablaze. Atop a pillar stands Mirai, announcing himself as the true heir to Lord Erda. You hear whispers of some sort of passing, some mistake has been made. News of the king's death reaches the ears of those around you. In front of you stands your companions. Alistair, his shields held high. His left arm, shattered beyond recognition, but he holds his ground. You look down at your own hands. You're not an 18-year-old boy, you're a man now. Time has passed. You're not sure when, you're not sure how, you're not sure how you got here. You're not sure why, but in your arm, resting quietly, peace, small blade through his chest. And you blink. For a moment, you see your master still, but that's not possible. He stands in front of you. You blink again. A face one you recognize, kind and soft, always full of laughter and cheer. But he shouldn't be here. This wasn't what happened. It's Kane, your brother. His eyes closed, small trickle of blood from his mouth. That's not real. Cain was still alive. You last spoke to him but moments ago. You're grabbed on the shoulder. Sophia, her dagger in hand, her her bow shattered to bits, looks to you. Lhusu, we need you. Your attention. He'll strike again. Ready yourself. Alistair can't take another blow. You sighed, Stoga.
I was gonna say, Sophia, Cain, my brother. What happened?
We don't have time for this. Stand, Lhusu. Cain gave his life for you. Do not let it go to waste. I don't know what Mirai speaks of, some falsehoods of the war to the north. But we cannot let him take the throne. It is our duty to guard it. It is your duty to find the prince. Find Cyrus. He is the last Everstar. With that, streak of energy blazes from Mirai's blade. Fire blazes through the once glorious halls of Cavaltas. You watch as Strogar Trollfist leaps into the air, aiming to strike Mirai, but his fist falls short, slamming into a magical barrier that prevents Mirai's demise. Instead, he's met with a quick, swift strike. Like lightning, he's pierced through the chest. With a gurgling grasp, he grabs at Mirai's arm. You can see him squeeze, and Mirai screams in agony as his arm is shattered. Drogar Trollfist slumps to the ground. His fists will never swing again. Alistar turns to you. Lhusu, we will hold him here. Find the prince. It has been an honor serving alongside you. It has been an honor being your shield. Fight for our future. Whether Mirai takes this throne or not, do not give up. Do not fret over our deaths. Peace will return. This can't last. He has no right to the throne. No power. Azan will not bless him with his gifts. He smiles. Who would have thought? In my lines of work, I'd be the one to go first. Another streak of light, fire blazing from Mirai's furious blade. Alistair's shield raises. The glorious golden walls of Alistair the Bulwark shine once more. They crack, and in a blinding light, you blink. Everything is gone. You stand in a room. It's quiet. You're not sure where you are. You're not sure why. Lhusu. The only word that comes to mind. You had a purpose. You had a goal. something you need to achieve. But you're not sure what it was. You're um mercenary? Uh you must be. You can see your armor and blade in the corner. Um, it's shrouded in a blackened aura. It seems cruel in nature, but for some reason it feels like home. What do you do?
There's only one thing to do now. Time to find answers about who I am. What am I doing here? I will don my armor and sword and step out.
Step out from the small hovel that you've made home. Uh, a simple shack in the lower dwellings of Kavaltas. The streets are a bustle with people. You're 22, 23. You can't quite remember, but some time has passed. Times have been rough. The death of King Everstar has brought a toll upon the people, and the first Prince Marai has been doing his best to bring peace and prosperity to the land, but it is difficult. You watch as a multitude of Magitech golems stride by, their uh, guard duty protocols, having them observe the markets around, the people going by. You watch as a young boy plucks a coin purse from a man's waist and scatters off. The golems respond, not at all. It seems they're on a search for something different. A crime not yet committed, but yet so very present. You watch as down the street marches a series of royal guards. They're known by the sigil upon their cloaks, the royal wardens, though most of them have been disbanded in the recent times. Some sort of allegations of treason been made against them. The man that marches down leading the last of their remnants, uh, what was his name? Bartol, something like that. Why do you remember this? You've never met him. The Guild of Mercenaries and Adventurers is open. You need to make this week's quota to pay rent and keep food on your table. What do you do?
Well, I'll be searching the job board to see if I can find anything uh, to pay rent. Is there any high-paying jobs on the board?
Um, Most of the board is the usual. With the rising tide of magical beasts in the lands of Jordan, people are always in need of monster hunters and protection from bandits and creatures. Most of them are decent paying enough, but it will take 4 or 5 jobs for you to make the quota you need. Wait, this one's interesting. Uh, Protection job. An escort? Um, Usually these don't pay a lot. This one, the man is offering 2,000 zenit. This would cover your costs for months, years maybe. Um, some lord, new to the land, he seeks aid.
Well, who am I to turn down a lord? Uh, let's take this job.
You pluck the job from the board, and before you even get a chance to turn around, you hear with a hearty, "Ha ha!" A boisterous voice echoes through the guild hall. You turn round to see a surprising sight. A man, tall, wide, his armor glorious, and his nature strange. His head, um, he seems to be wearing a boar mask. Or you thought at first, until he speaks to you. I see you've taken my quest. I require a guide to these lands. I've been lost for some time. I am Lord Borrington. He reaches a hand out to shake.
Lhusu will extend his hand and shake his hand as well. I am Lhusu. Uh, you needed a guide, you said.
Yes, I've been watering these lands with my aides for some time, but I think it's about time I get to my duties. A small cat walks up next to him. Lord Borrington, my lord, can we trust this manling? Should you be so readily shaking his hand? You know how deals work amongst our people. Um, uh, Borrington simply looks at you. As long as he agrees to be my guide, any deal matters not. Is that not correct, young knight?
Of course, as long as you're willing to uphold your end.
Of course, of course, of course. Then we are in agreement. His hand still shakes yours vigorously.
Then yes, we are in agreement.
At the words of agreement, you feel a small little binding tie. You look down at your finger, and a small little green vine is enwrapped yours and this Lord Borrington's index fingers together. Ah, then a deal it is. It's good to have you as my guide.
Feels
You,
good to be your guide, Lord Borrington.
that is correct, Lord Borrington, the Boreal Forest.
Hmm. Very well. Where is it you wish to go?
I know not. I know not these lands, and I simply wish to have found someone who can take me places I haven't been before.
So just a tour of. Oh, sorry.
Are you good? Uh,
What? What did you had said?
he was saying, I, a guide to take me places I've never been before.
Ah, okay. And Where have you been before?
Here and there.
Ah, okay. Well, I suppose I should begin with a tour of Kalatas.
Ah, perfect. Where is this?
Here.
Here, this building, Gaveltars. Interesting.
No, here as in this city.
City. These small places is. Of course, of course, of course. Ah, mortals. Such extravagancies. He nods. Uh, this is a very strange man. Or you've heard of the extravagance of beastkin, but usually it's not in their dress and attire. Usually it's just the fact that they're beastkin. Uh, Especially here in Cavaldas, that is a strange finding in and of its own. This one seems to be some sort of noble. Maybe this man was cursed at some point and was given the face of a pig, but he seems not to mind in the slightest.
His appearance matters not to me. I am only worried about pay. So let's do this job and get paid.
And so you wander, taking Borrington to tourist traps and locations of knowledgeable wealth. Each and every time, Borrington is astounded by the architecture and the things around. Also, he's had little to no interaction with human beings ever. One of the places you stop by, an old bakery. The old lady who runs it is getting up there in age, but she is always beaming with a smile. Her baked goods are quite literally magical. Small gingerbread men dancing in presentation, hoping to be bought and eaten. Cakes and pies float in her window. The scent of fresh baked goods literally walks out the door, drawing in those interested in treats. For some reason, it reminds you of home, but you don't remember where home was or who home could be. And so your adventures alongside Lord Borrington, now magically binding until he officially pays you for your services, go on. You journey with him for years, finding strange and interesting companions along the way. Small elven girl, lost, seeking to go home. Uh, Another magical being. You're not sure the nature of who they are, but they're an immaculate chef, and their food is far beyond anything you've ever had before. Each meal a treat to the tongue and a memory to preserve alongside those you've forgotten. And finally, a woman and her pet. You've never been quite sure what Zeus was, but you know he's a loyal companion alongside Proxia. You smile, as once again you find yourself in a cleared meadow. You open your eyes to hearing the sound of your companions laughing and bickering as they return from their little expedition. Your family's back. And you're home once again.
Lhusu will get up to dust himself off and rejoin his companions.
You stand up. You dust yourself off. And as you look down at your own shadow, a wide, cruel grin stretches along its face. Oh, you have many things to do, young knight. I will be watching. And we'll finish the session there.
Well done, good sir. That was a great story.
I'm glad you do it. It's your story, so I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, that was really good. It encapsulated what I wanted from Lhusu, so yeah, that was great.
Fantastic, fantastic. Um, Go ahead and accept your experience, and anyone else who's here may accept the experience um, as well.
Good. Yeah, it just hit it. So perfect.
Um, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed. I wanted to put emphasis on that you are a different person,
Hmm.
um, as well as originally I had thought to do a proper like, hey, here's a background, here's this continuous little event. But literally this morning, I was thinking on, um, you don't have your memories, so you dreaming about yourself won't be complete.
Right.
So instead, I've kind of came with a construction of your backgrounds are going to be basically done in chopped bits. As you slowly regain who you are, you'll slowly complete the little memories.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Um,
That's exactly what I want.
Good. And hoping to also leave little tidbits of information for you for present Lhusu to have something to go find or do. Um, I wasn't sure if you wanted companions, but I gave you companions. They exist. Each one is a character. Um, what you do with those informations, what you do with the information of these characters is up to you if you wish to go find them or whatever. But
Hmm.
and yeah, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. I really love doing these background episodes. I'm excited to do them for everyone.
Yeah,
Um,
I
so
can't wait.
yeah, um, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. I'm also trying to find ways to tie each of you in with each other as well. So it's not just your story, but also the story of you guys all coming together.
Right. Yeah. I feel like once we get out of Kalbatas and get out of the principality, it's going to be expanding on other stories as well. I mean,
Yeah.
just because right now I'm tied into Kalbatas, it's the reason that it's kind of focused on my character right now. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, once we leave and once we go to like Inaris or the Grand Bazaar again and start exploring others,
Yeah.
it'll be focused on them more.
Yeah. And as we do these, each of you is going to add to the world. I want you guys thinking on different things of your past that add to the world that you guys have. Like currently, you guys are going in Clearview. We're running into characters that, um,
Croxia knows, right?
yeah, their proxy is
Yeah.
passed. So, Ashling story starts very much not Jordan. This is very true.
Yeah.
Ashling story is going to start very, very differently. Borington's story is going to start very, very differently. And I'm actually the one think I'm most excited to do is I really, really am excited for Misora's story because her beginning isn't even of this world.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what Ramen wants to do with Misora. Whether we start with her, experiencing and going through literal hell, what life is like literal hell, or if we start with her life on the surface after she's forcefully taken away. Not as much as you became friends with your summoner, it's a summoning, so it is forceful. um, the fucking Fae kidnapping and making deals. This party only exists because half of the members are Fae. Yes, here's my magically legal binding contract. Thank you. Yeah. With that, I will go ahead and let you go. As I said, these sessions aren't going to be as long as a full normal session.
Right.
But I hope you had fun, and
Absolutely.
I will look forward to continuing the adventures next Saturday.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Thank you very much for joining me, Argo. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Catch you next time. Bye, guys.
All right, chat. It has been a blast. Thanks for hanging out and running for another uh side episode of Fabula Ultima Empyrean Hearts. Um Again, I do truly, truly love going through and experiencing and crafting these backgrounds alongside the players and giving them these additives to a world that they already have place in, but are expanding on and growing in, developing. Having these new people and places to add into the world. Actually, that's one thing I need to put in. Lhusu may not remember where it is, but Argo, I need to get Argo to tell me where his father's estate was because he's a Viscount. Like Viscount, like he has land. But yeah, anyway, I like adding these locations and things based off of the characters and adding the adventures. So each of you have, each of the players has this thing to go find and explore and develop and become more of who they are. But yeah, I could ramble on for so long about this stuff. Maybe I'll just have a talking session about this GMing and world building sometime. For now, though, for Twitch, thank you so much for joining me here live on stream. If you're watching on YouTube, I do stream Fabula Ultima every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. You'll find us here adventuring and having laughs and growing and building this world together. I try to post the VODs for these streams on YouTube every like half week. So basically, what I try to do is, since I do Lancer on Wednesdays, I want to post Fabula Wednesday and then Lancer on Saturday before sessions and blah 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 blah. That's kind of thing I'm going for. We'll see what sticks.